Okay, Coach. Well, first opened way back in 1972. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Check 50, check 50. Forward.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. An aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate, but that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
Now it's Jackson, going to throw deep for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mike, 44. All day, every day.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
2nd down and goal. Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11.
Check the backer.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game, it leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
A little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off and not the ha-ha. That was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. You better be afraid of it. 12.
Here's Wilson throwing again. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to Geis.
36.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Caleb Wilson, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point try good by Gano, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Jackson. Dancing, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
We got to get the ball. See, you get the ball right here. Let's go. Check. 25. 22, check. 22, check. Got it.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
25. Check safety. Check 52. Check.
Out of the gun, Geis. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Kill. Turn it. Big gas.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Steelers 14, Chiefs 7.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Everyone got 4 down. Pass him.
Jackson. Buying time to his left. But he's got Snead. That one goes for 24 yards.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
6 man. Check curls. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Hey.
On second down now, Pollard. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Chiefs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Miles Jack with a sack. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
A big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. Now Wilson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
14, 14, got it. Alert. Shit, watch the shit. Go. Watch the shit. Let's go.
Here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Check back. Kill. Hey, turn it up. SOS.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Jim. Check 37. Echo. Check 4. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Check.
From the 44, Jackson. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there for KC. 43 yards.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
Keep playing.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. And Jackson throwing once more. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
That one good for 37 yards. Now Wilson on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now Wilson. Being chased out left. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going deep for Brown, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Single in the slot. Single in the slot.
Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Tight down. There you go.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. On 2nd down, Pollard. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now this throw caught left side. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Check 380. Check 52. Come on. Check 50. Check 50. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. 52 is the mic. Alert. Alert. Alert.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And his throw here is incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
I'll go special. I'll go special. You guys, listen.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give them the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
Now Jackson on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown, complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now a 1st down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop him for a loss of 4. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 28-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. On 1st down, this is Geis. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch that free. Watch that. Let's go double count right here. Double count. Undercut. I think. Go.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Got a man. It's Brown. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Second and 10 now. Wilson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. To throw on 3rd down. Wilson. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Montez Sweat coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's
Run for Pollard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Buddy up. 44. Mike, 44. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Pollard going to try the right side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Reload. Not pass. You got that right there. Check it out. Guys, listen. Say it.
Throwing again. Wilson. This will be caught by Brown. He's at the 30. 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 83 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Forced out to his left. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
Hey, 0. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Flushed out right. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now it's Jackson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. On first down, Pollard. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. On second down, Love. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Throwing is Jackson. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collected. collective rebounding, not rebounding right here.
.380. 52 right here. 52. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.